I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest.
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Finally, The Rock has come back. I hate this idea that you're the best.
And if you're not down with that, we got two words for ya!
I'm the best in the world.
I fight at WrestleMania for the very, very small percentage of people that walk this planet and say I am proud to be, I'm sorry, a professional wrestler.
Oops, I'm breaking the fourth wall.
It's Podcast of the Immortals with your hosts, Matt Bush and Jimmy Bellamy.
We were talking about work.
Yeah, we're talking about whatever we want.
Anything you want.
I think talk about some wrestling.
I think we should talk about practice, man.
Practice? We're talking about practice.
Not a game.
I think we should talk about me being the undisputed champion.
You were definitely better than me at that game.
You held your own with Cena, though. You did.
Well,
Better than Roman Reigns.
Yeah, you did. You did get a little better.
It's a really fun game, though.
So is work grinding on you guys?
No.
No, but our back area just needs a new face, so we started tackling that today. It was fun. Actually, a lot of people worked hard. So
You just selling gold rings?
of course, we sell some gold rings, some jewelries.
Saw all the juries. This is Podcast of Immortals.
Episode 49.
49. We're almost at the 50 mark.
Yeah, halfway to
The
century mark.
bicentennial.
That would be 200.
The half centennial. The 0.5 centennial.
I'm sure there's a word for it. Is it
The
ennial?
semi-annual sale at Victoria's Secrets.
Or one away from 50.
It'd be the
Yes.
half tennial. Oh, I don't know.
That half tennial. We're one away from the half tennial.
50.
Episode 49, Podcast of Immortals. I'm Matt Bush.
Sorry, I was sipping water. My name's Jimmy Bellamy.
We got a special guest for you guys tonight. He's been on the show twice already?
Yep.
Once
And-
in person, once on the phone.
Oh, a couple times on the phone.
Yeah.
No,
couple
twice
times on the
in
phone.
person.
Yeah.
Twice in person.
Oh,
Twice in
no,
person.
wait. He was on the phone when I wasn't.
When you were
for
gone.
Battleground.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was phone. You were because you were headed to the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
But Andy McKinnon, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
We had your brother on the show a couple days ago. That was a good time.
Let's be clear to the listeners that I am way different than my brother.
Yes, instead of Santino, you love John Cena.
Yeah.
I do enjoy John Cena. I enjoy CM Punk and Daniel Bryan though too.
Yes, but if they were lined up and they were shirtless and you had to suck on one of their nipples, you were taking John Cena.
Now, are you 12 years older than Zach? I mean, I mean, Fish Daddy 69.
Fish Daddy 69.
Shady 69.
I am 10 years older than Fish Daddy
Okay, you're 28.
Yeah.
Why did I think you were 30?
because I look like I'm 40.
Well, you look like you're 40, but no. I thought you were. I guess I thought you were closer to my age. I guess I'm just way older. It's my bad.
31?
You're just old, man.
I'm 32.
32?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
You are past your prime.
Old balls. That's what we call it in the business.
Old balls. Did you see them? They were weird looking. All right, well, we got a great show for you tonight. We're going to talk about the Raw following Survivor Series. We're cracking some cores. Hey, Coors or whatever.
Coors, go
yeah,
on, leave me breathless.
Before we get into Raw, though, we got some Wrestle news.
We do,
and we all seem to have Wrestle news. None of us have talked about it, though. I'm just going to go ahead and start, and if I pick yours, you can jump in or whatever. But I'll just start. Brodus Clay.
You took mine. No, I'm just kidding.
Really? Brodus Clay may be on the outs, and you haven't seen him on TV in a few months. They gave Xavier Woods his ring music and the Funkadactyls on Raw, and apparently his status with the company is kind of up in the air at the moment.
Is there a reason?
That's all I read.
Okay.
What a waste of talent. He could have came in, and I know CM Punk said this on one of his pipe bombs that he dropped, but he could have came in as such a monster, and they give him that gimmick.
A dancing dinosaur.
Oh, my goodness. He's great in the ring. I haven't really heard him on the mic, I guess. I can't really remember being blown away by him on the mic, but I thought he was awesome in the ring. He's got huge frame. Jiggles a lot.
Yeah. He did have that. Maybe he's getting punished for that nip slip he had. You guys remember that?
I do.
I kind of do.
Yeah.
I kind of always will remember that. I kind of will never forget
It
it.
haunts my dreams.
I love it.
But Brodus may be on the outs. This is crazy. I mean, just less than 2 years ago, he was pushed to the moon. He came out. He was squashing people. Should I get him? Remember when he would say that? And he would do his finisher. He was dancing. He, if you go back and watch the WrestleMania 28 Blu-ray or DVD, he's got like a 10-minute segment on WrestleMania where he danced with grandmas. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
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 Like before the main
mama.
event. Yeah. And he danced with like 15
I do remember that.
yeah, grandmas. And we're now heading into WrestleMania 30. He might be off the roster is kind of shocking to me. I don't think he really was given the shot he deserved.
No, I agree with you, Matt. I think he was given a bad gimmick. But
he made the most out of it.
He did. And you know what? He was actually hot for a while.
Yeah.
And he was probably selling a lot of merch with the Funkadactyls and the his dancing, and at least for a while there were fans.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when they were bringing in the kids to dance in the ring. Pretty stupid, I thought, but that's fine. I just didn't enjoy
If
his
John
gimmick.
Cena did it, you'd be all over it. You'd be like, the fans, though, the fans.
Here's the thing, though.
Matt, the fans.
90% of the fans that got brought into that ring, what were they wearing?
John Cena shirts.
John Cena shirts. I still didn't
Because they were little kids.
Right.
Yeah.
What's this do for my boy Tensai? That's all I gotta know.
I haven't seen him in a while either.
He's been on commentary, I think, lately.
Has he?
Yeah, he's
For
been doing.
what?
I think he's been doing main event or NXT.
TNA?
No, we just talked
That's
about.
where they're both heading.
We just talked about Brodus' nip slip. That covered TNA.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's kind of sad. I hope they just repackage him rather than get rid of him.
Same here. I mean, when he initially came, as you mentioned, from NXT, he was kind of a monster.
And then he went away for a while.
Or did you mention that?
No, I did not.
Okay,
But
yeah.
he should have been booked like a monster. And their vignettes that they made for him booked him as a monster. And when he came out, everyone didn't know what the heck
Exactly.
was going on.
Because he was on the phone with John Laurinaitis.
John Laurinaitis.
Brodus, your debut has been pushed back.
People, power. They said no. Brodus Clay today.
We marked out on Sunday for...
No.
Shane marked
Shane
out.
did.
Hey, I think Shane marked out, and I jumped on board Shane.
No.
So,
I didn't.
Shane's my boy, and he's loving John Laurinaitis. I jumped on board. I was screaming with him.
I was too busy eating hot dogs and getting
Dude,
sick.
you were a fantastic time on Sunday.
Was I
Let's
pretty
put it
excited?
Like that. Yeah. You were good. I like how you took over the
Scorekeeping?
scorekeeping.
Thank you.
I enjoyed that because usually I have to do that every time. And
I have organization in my blood. It's just what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I like to organize things, so I'll gladly take it on.
done.
He's bureaucrat.
As long as you get me your
Report.
picks on time. Some of those picks
It's
were a
tough,
little
man.
slow.
I mean, a lot of times I'm trying to get picks from a guy on the phone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make my own picks, and then my brother doesn't know your number, so I gotta text you
was
his
like that.
picks.
By the way,
Your brother doesn't know who's wrestling.
yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure
I'll pick Santino.
Yeah.
and make sure Fish never gets my number. Okay.
Yeah.
You got it.
Thank you.
I gave him Matt's number the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sunday reminded me of that one home shopping channel that like Don West used to be on, where they were always selling knives at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And then for some reason they had that third guy who could never quite make it into the studio, and he was on the phone like,
On the phone.
"You can't believe this deal! I can't believe that legally we're able to sell this to you this price."
You got that. They'd always have like random names for that's the Chianto. That's a Chianto plate, isn't it? Yeah, we got like 4 of them left. Yeah, we can do that for you.
You sound like JBL. Right there.
Yeah, a little bit.
You don't know how good he can
He
be.
doesn't know how good these knives are until he cuts a shoe in half.
Tell you what, you buy the Chianto blade, I'm gonna throw in the Baba Gushu knife, the fillet knife. Oh my God, you cannot believe this. You will cut that fish right in half. Unbelievable.
I'll tell you what.
I can't believe we're doing this.
If you call now, we'll throw in a Gem Mint Sammy Sosa rookie card.
From Topps 1989 series numbered 474, 1 out of 8 million.
And these knives are Mexico's greatest export.
They probably are from Mexico.
Or China.
Yeah, China. They don't know how good that can be.
My goodness.
Sliced through a lead pipe, sliced through a tomato.
All right.
Not sanitary.
Wrestle News number 2. Following the Survivor Series pay-per-view, John Cena, after holding up his belt that we talked about at length on our last podcast, challenged Randy Orton to a champion versus champion match right there. This was after Survivor Series had gone off the air. But Orton declined. Kane then tried to go after John Cena, but Triple H stopped him. Kane then tried a few more times, and Triple H kept stopping him. This prompted Kane to grab Triple H for a choke slam, but Orton came over and calmed Kane down.
Why would Kane go after Cena?
I don't. This all happened off the air.
That's gotta be Kane.
They all
For the crowd.
Yeah, they all went. They all went to the back, and then Cena took the mic and talked to the crowd. Triple H then came back out, and Cena challenged him to enter the ring and see if he still has it. Which leads credence to what I was saying about maybe him facing Triple H if the Hogan match doesn't happen at Mania. Triple H took off his tie and started going to the ring, which he tends to do. He never makes it all the way. But Vince McMahon then came out and stopped Triple H. Cena then taunted Vince, who took off his tie and jacket, but Stephanie McMahon came out and stopped him.
And took off her tie.
Yeah, took off her.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Release the hounds.
The Hounds of Justice.
The Hounds of Bustus.
Yeah, there you go. The Authority then walked to the back, and Vince was doing the Los Matadors Olay chant with his jacket on the stage.
Who came out?
That was Vince McMahon doing the Olay chant.
But who was he doing it to? Just
John Cena was still in the ring.
Oh, boy.
So Vinnie Mac was back at least for one night.
And off his meds?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
What do you think of my defense now? I don't know.
Sounds fantastic.
I don't know. I mean,
I wish they would have showed it.
Show for the fan. It was probably just a show for the crowd that paid.
Been cool though.
Well, we'll see if we get Triple H Shayna at WrestleMania once all this other stuff settles down.
I initially thought that Triple H, Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania for the title. That was what I told you guys probably a couple months ago. And now with them going to have one champion, I'm sure it'll just be a grudge match. It'll either... You want Hogan, and I don't want Hogan versus Cena. I think it's a waste. I really do. I think it'd be a fantastic match for, like, you know, the nostalgic.
Okay. Would you rather see Cena take on Hogan or Cena take on Triple H?
For in-ring work and just how bad Hogan is in the ring, I'd rather see Triple H. He is 62 years old.
He's 60.
60.
He'll be 61. Is that what I read then?
I think he just turned 60 a few months ago, didn't he?
In
August, maybe?
He is not good in the ring. I saw his last match with TNA, and it was so bad. So bad. So, I personally don't want to see it. But, to get back to what we were talking about, I thought that Triple H would face Daniel Bryan, and this whole thing would come, full circle. But if it's Bryan Punk, that would be cool. I don't know where they're going to go with it. I mean, it's going to be the Authority versus John Cena, it seems like.
Maybe, I don't know, because Cena seems to be kind of aligning himself with the Authority as the face of the company.
So then do they turn
face, or does Cena turn heel, or are they really heel because they're going against Orton? They're all kind of like in tweener mode, which is fine, but they're not really pulling it off too well.
I think you're going to see the Wyatt family hook up with the Authority.
Maybe.
But all of that might be changed.
Who's your Royal Rumble winner, Andy?
My Royal Rumble winner is Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan? How about yours?
I'm going to say CM Punk.
That's my pick, too. But, I mean, that's just from what I've read so far.
Same here.
But that can change big time.
Yeah. I think the odds are that it's going to be those two. Unless, who are the three people you said on Sunday we're going to get pushes? Summer Rae, Roman Reigns, and who?
And Big E Langston.
Okay. I could see Reigns winning it.
Reigns is going to have a monster Royal Rumble. I don't think he wins it this year. But you guys had Wrestle News as well. That's all I had.
Wrestle News number 3, I guess, is what I'll take. John Cena.
Of course.
Who, of course, I had news about. 2 things with John Cena. When he came into the business, there was only a couple people that actually thought he could make it. One was JBL. He actually said he's got talent. I think this kid's got something. Obviously
He doesn't know how good he can be.
You don't know how good he can be. He's Massachusetts' greatest export.
And the reason why that even came up is John Cena did an interview on Fox, and he has claimed that the WWE has made $100 million off of him.
All right, I did.
And what he's done.
Like the brand,
year.
Yeah,
not
year.
Overall.
The John Cena
$100 million
brand.
a year from John Cena's brand.
Yeah, I can believe that actually.
And you wonder why they don't turn him heel.
Right. You got all the smarks, who are us probably, and you guys, and all the other people out there that are screaming for him to turn heel. And I think it'd be fantastic if he turned heel. I think he's fine as a good guy. Yes, he gets a little old and stale, but he's so fantastic on his mic work. He's the best in the business, along with CM Punk. He's great in the ring. Doesn't really have a bad match. He doesn't botch many moves. If you can think back, maybe a couple here and there, but $100 million a year, that is huge.
At the rate he works and the toll it all takes on his body, I told you earlier tonight before we started recording, I think he's got 2 years left. I think he'll make it to 38 and his body will just break down. So, taking all of that into consideration, if he's able to see a longer career, eventually they'll turn him heel when a lot of these little kids get older and they have a new person to put in that spot.
Yeah.
Then they'll turn him heel, but only then. And
Roman
you can
Reigns?
tell. I don't know. I don't know if the person is on the roster yet.
Sure.
It's gonna have to be somebody
Andy
who comes out of
McKinnon.
nowhere and makes. It's gonna be somebody make an entrance out of nowhere, similar to an RKO.
Yeah,
I think
And then
he will
they'll
wrestle
figure it
for 5 more years.
I think he'll keep his current pace for a few more years, and he'll wrestle for much longer.
Yeah.
But he'll be more of like Undertaker role,
Or an Austin type where he makes a lot of appearances on Raw but doesn't wrestle until pay-per-views.
Yeah.
And I walked in on the middle of your conversation here a little bit ago about getting matches from pay-per-views on Raw the night after a pay-per-view.
Uh-huh.
And we've talked about how to make TV special, or to make the pay-per-view special, you can't be giving a lot of these matches away on TV like they do. Maybe they'll bring back squash matches and jobbers, but I think they're going to have to do that, and they probably will with a lot of this part-time talent, and when Cena becomes a part-time star, by part-time I mean not the way he is now, but I mean not Brock Lesnar part-time, but a guy where I think we're just going to see him exclusively fighting on pay-per-views eventually.
Yeah, but I think that's a few years away.
Yeah. But if my money's on it, I think his career's over in 2 years, because physically he'll have enough money, and his body will be so broken down he'll just say, "Look, I'm done. I can't risk it." Or his doctor will tell him, "You can't." It's going to be similar to the Edge thing.
Or Nikki will get pregnant, and he'll be like, "Oh, I'll save time home with the family."
But John Cena doesn't want children.
Yeah, but Nikki does.
Yeah.
He did say in the same article that he is gonna, when he can no longer hang with the young guns, he's gonna retire.
Yeah, Brett Favre said that too.
Yeah, money changes everything.
Money talks. Jimmy, you said you had a Wrestle News as well.
I do.
Or was that all you had?
That's all I got.
Okay.
Thanks, Andy. Wrestle News 4. It was announced tonight during the SmackDown / main event tapings that Triple H had a promo on the Tron and clarified that the match at TLC for the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship is to unify the belts.
Yes.
So there will be one WWE Champion, which tells us that the World Heavyweight Championship will be going away. I don't know if they'll call it an undisputed title, because technically TNA is kind of in existence now, unlike in 2001 when they unified the titles, there wasn't really a number 2 company. And you also have Ring of Honor to take into consideration. So I don't know if they'll call it an undisputed champion. But I don't think they can get away with it in this internet age.
They call the World Series the World Champions, even though Little League World Series still happens,
Undisputed.
I know.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Undisputed. Because, I mean, there are several organizations that have a world championship. I mean, Heavy on Wrestling has a world champion.
Yeah.
But I can see where they won't. I could see them not calling it undisputed once it's all done. And just kind of absorbing the world.
I can see that. I can see them going either way with it. Do we think? I mean, is the World Heavyweight Championship belt just gone then?
Yeah, I don't think they'll abandon the WWE Championship because it's so new. I don't think.
Do you think they'll switch it?
No, I don't. I honestly don't. I think they've probably put a lot of marketing and promotion into that belt design that it's just too. I mean, it's too new. Now, granted, they abandoned the undisputed / WWE Championship pretty early on in favor of the spinner belt. I mean, I think that one only lasted like 2 years before Cena took it.
Yeah.
Because I think it was 2002 until 2004. I think Cena debuted this. Did he debut in 2004 or 2005? I think it was 2005. So 3 years.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was just a couple of years. Yeah. They just debuted it after the Royal Rumble last year.
It's been around almost a year. Yeah.
Yeah, less than a year.
Yeah.
That's not long enough of a run for their new belt.
No.
But what do they do with the World Heavyweight Championship, though?
Well, they could just...
Does it just go on John Cena's wall?
Ric Flair's wall.
No, I mean, they could debut that as the next belt in a few years. A design like that or similar.
They went back to a classic belt. And actually, I have another wrestling news. When they went back to the Intercontinental belt, the classic IC belt, that Cody Rhodes debuted.
Yep.
Cody Rhodes actually had to convince the WWE to go back to that design, and he actually paid to have it made.
Really?
Yeah. He originally he had it paid to get it made, brought it to the company, said look, this is beautiful, let me bring it on there. I guarantee you it will be a success. You will not be,
disappointed.
Disappointed.
Yeah.
And I think they ended up reimbursing him because they did love the design. They loved the look of it. And then he debuted it just shortly after that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love it. And I love it with the white background.
Yeah.
This one, I as much as we love the World Heavyweight title, and you were talking about, I think you said Goldberg, you're like, no one looks better with a belt. Batista was up there too, I think.
Batista looked good. Edge looked good.
Yeah.
But no one ever looked better than Goldberg with that big gold belt.
I think that Vince would never go to that belt exclusively because it would be conceding to WCW and to NWA.
I
agree, yeah.
And for that reason only, if only, I think that's the biggest reason why. But when he's gonzo, who knows?
But what I was saying, I would love if they went back to a classic design for the WWE Championship. And are they going to call it the WWE Championship still, or are they going to call it the World Heavyweight Championship?
Triple H said there will be one WWE champion. That's what those were his words according to that report, which leads me to believe it will be WWE champion. And as you know,
before they had two belts, it was called the World Heavyweight Championship.
It was called the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Because if you notice now, they don't call it the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
No, they call
it the World Heavyweight Championship.
And the WWE Championship.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, very strange. It's going to be a lot of interesting stuff happening with the belt. I'm excited to see the match.
I know. We've been calling for it for months.
I've wanted this for years. I mean, it's been, they keep saying it's, 11 years in the making?
Yeah.
Because they debuted the belt in
September 2002.
Yeah. And that was to... Eric Bischoff actually gave it to Triple H on SmackDown that night. And he's just like, you're the champ.
It was on Raw.
Was that Raw?
Yeah, it was on Raw. I remember it.
Well...
You guys realize...
You know what's funny? What I remember about it is he was clean shaven, and he hadn't been clean shaven since 96. And he looked so weird.
Do you guys realize that we have a pay-per-view in December?
Yep.
Royal Rumble.
We have TLC, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and WrestleMania.
Oh my goodness.
And don't forget, we have Mick Foley 2 days before
Elimination Chamber.
Correct. February 21st.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
Minnesota.
if you guys didn't listen to a few podcasts ago, our co-host Jimmy Bellamy is going to be opening for Mick Foley in Duluth, stand-up comedy at the Clyde. You can get tickets on heavyonwrestling.com. Is that correct? Correct. They are $25 a piece, I believe. That's for the meet and greet.
Yep.
And you get to meet Mick Foley, you get to talk to him, you get to listen to comedy. Check it out if you're going to be in the area. It's going to be a good time.
Can't wait. It's going to be a blast. And I don't want to jinx it, but there's really nothing to jinx. But there's a possibility right now that Mick, we're knocking on wood, there's a possibility that Mick will join us on the podcast. So, we'll keep you posted on that. And that would be sometime, we would air that episode, I would assume.
In February.
Yeah, the day after.
Yeah.
So
bang bang.
So
bang,
possibly Saturday, February 22nd, a special episode of Podcast of the Immortals with Mick Foley. But we'll see if we can actually
to be determined.
That. Yeah, TBD.
With that being said, we obviously have tickets to the Elimination Chamber, and we've talked about, are going to bring the recorder. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'll bring it.
So after the pay-per-view, we're going to go out, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. So we might just do that right in the suite.
Right on site.
Right on site.
If they'll let us stay there.
Live from the Target Center.
On the street.
We might have to figure something out for that. Maybe we could live stream it or something like that.
That'd be awesome.
And maybe we'll have our fancy schmancy mics by then.
Maybe. Oh, and what I was bringing this up to you earlier. My mom has been pestering me for weeks about a Christmas list, and I literally have nothing. I'm like, I have one thing that I want that I haven't bought yet, and it's this mic, and it's expensive, but I don't want to ask for it because it's expensive. She's like, just tell me what it is. I'm buying your sister a laptop. I'm like, okay. So she's like, yeah, I'll get that for you. So we have one mic.
Boom.
You need to figure out the other one.
I'll get it.
We can get a mixing board from my work because we get them in all the time.
Awesome.
We will have a professional sound setup. I think it'll be great.
Can't wait. I just want a reason to wear headphones. That's all.
Yeah, I know you love your headphones.
Soft.
I just have one request.
Yes.
Get a third pair.
Well, we're gonna get. We want to get a third mic, especially if we do get Foley on. We also have an unannounced former WWE superstar slated to be on our show in September of 2014.
Yep.
And we'll talk more about that in the future, but we want to have mics for him and for Foley, so we will
be awesome.
Hopefully by the time we get the Foley show around, and the Foley comedy show, that is. I don't want to jinx it here.
Yeah.
And I don't want to guarantee or promise anybody anything, but we've talked to the promoter, and we mentioned that we asked if there was a possibility of Foley being on the show, and he said he thinks it would work out, and that he will ask him. So
I'm sure you just do it right down there.
Yeah, we could do whatever works for his schedule. We'll make it happen.
I think he should come here.
Yeah, sit in this little room. I bet you would like it.
Yeah,
actually.
Seriously, if he's cool with that, I'd be happy for him to come in here. Be in the basement, although it'd be February, it'd be cold.
Yeah.
But
I just want to be best friends with him. That's all. Is that too much to ask?
That is way too much to ask, and that might guarantee him not being on the show.
Please be best friends with me, my pal.
I think he listens.
I'm sure he does.
Just like the WWE listens, because obviously they listen.
have. They've listened to a lot of our, Cena's still a face.
Correct.
Goldberg hasn't returned yet.
So they're listening to me and keeping Cena a face.
Summer Rae still wears clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any other wrestling news before I hit into Raw?
I think that's it.
That's it.
All right. So, Monday Night Raw, day after Survivor Series, Randy Orton comes out, says he wants an apology from the WWE Universe who thought he wouldn't be WWE Champion anymore. He said he proved them wrong, and that he's a champion and he deserves everything that he's done. He then calls out the Authority. Steph says that they were proven right by Orton winning that. But then Orton says that he didn't need their help to win and that his win is tainted because they distracted the Big Show, which led to the RKO and the punt. Daniel Bryan chants and yes chants were just all over it when he was talking, which was awesome. Orton says that he slayed the Giant and he's the biggest star in the 50 years of WWE. Says no one can take that away from them. And of course, John Cena's music hits. There it is. Steph asks what the heck Cena wants. Cena says he wants what the fans want. He's tired of the administrative BS. He asks who is the real champion. Says there's 2 champions in this very ring. And he says that it's time that there should be only one champion in the WWE, and Stephanie actually likes the idea. Triple H then announces then at TLC they're going to have a TLC match for the unification of the titles.
It's what I've wanted to hear for a long time. I just wonder why they would be so quick to make that match against Orton. Just say, oh yeah, Randy, you're going to have to face John Cena in a TLC match with both titles on the line.
I think it goes back to what we saw when they were chatting up Cena at Survivor Series.
Yeah. Do you think they'll let us in on that at all?
Maybe.
They might. I'm curious to ask. I graded this promo at like an A-, B+, somewhere in that. I thought it was fantastic. I thought when Cena called Orton a toddled little boy,
yeah,
I thought that was awesome.
I think it was good, but I think it was the second best promo of the night.
I'm probably going to agree with you.
All right. I thought it was okay. I would give it like a B-.
See, I thought it was way better than that. And just with what it means.
An A for me, an A+ range, is like the pipe bomb, the first one. That's an A+. It's a Stone Cold promo. It's a Rock promo. This for me would not be an A.
I just think that it means so much for the company, and going from 2 titles to 1 is the biggest news they've been able to give us in months.
It's big news. It wasn't a great promo how they delivered it though, because like.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
It's just weird. Like, Orton doesn't seem like he knows who he is anymore. Cena, like, why is he challenging? Like, what was his motivation behind coming out? Like,
I think he just wants to prove that he is the greatest in there. He is the best in the world.
All right, fair enough.
Which I hope will lead to a true match between the best in the world versus John Cena.
All right.
We'll see.
And then again, Triple H clarified on main event, that's where I was going to put that in, that the match will be a unification match, because it was kind of, they didn't really say that on Raw. Our first match of the night pitted The Shield and taking on Code Dust and Rey Mysterio. Reigns, again, just spearing everyone in sight. It's like he's got his, what was it called in like WCW Revenge, where their bar was full?
You get special. It was called your spirit meter.
Spirit meter. His spirit meter was full.
Yeah.
And he could just hit finisher after finisher after finisher.
Is when you could do your finishing.
And he was just in special mode because he was spearing everyone. Speared poor Ray again. Speared Goldust again. Ambrose actually hit his finisher on Cody Rhodes to get the pin. I thought it was a really solid match.
I liked it, and I'll tell you what, it was great even though Rey Mysterio was in it. So
Roman Reigns spears everyone in sight again. Rolls out of the ring. Cody Rhodes about to deliver it. I believe the beautiful disaster. Is that right?
It's a
Cody Rhodes or Goldust?
Cody Rhodes.
Crossroads.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
And
beautiful disaster is now the disaster kick. That one where he jumps.
That's right.
They actually changed the name. You didn't hear about that?
I didn't.
It's a Codyplex.
Oh,
yeah,
Codyplex. That's right.
Codyplex.
So I thought it was a good transition. Dean Ambrose hits it for the win. Roman Reigns, like you said, Matt, they're building them up. This is how they should build them, and they're doing it great right now. And eventually, I think it'll lead to their split and him turning face. Maybe they all three turn face once Bray Wyatt and his crew aligns with the Authority. Jimmy, isn't that what you were thinking?
No, I think that the Wyatts will be working with the Authority, including the Shield.
Okay.
I don't see the Shield turning as a face team. I see them splitting, and I want to say if Roman Reigns is getting the push, I think he's going to get the push as a bad guy first. That's just my gut.
Maybe.
But I suppose if you're going to turn one of them he'd be the easiest to turn because I don't see Rollins and Reigns Rollins and Ambrose being good guys.
He does spear everyone in sight.
Yeah.
So.
What do you think of my idea for Goldberg to take on Reigns?
I think it's a good idea. I enjoyed listening to it. I think that it won't happen.
Well,
and the only reason why
is fantasy booking.
It is fantasy booking, but there's got to be some kind of...
Would you rather see that match or Goldberg taking on Ryback?
I would rather see Roman Reigns, for sure, but I think it would take away a little bit from the Ryback, when people chant Goldberg and how he does look so much like him. I mean, just with the build of his body and no slap on that, but
yeah,
no homo. But look at the sweat dripping off that man's body. But I would definitely rather see Goldberg and Roman Reigns.
A spear versus spear match would be awesome. I think. The way I laid it out, I thought made perfect sense. Ryback comes in, at the Rumble, clearing house. Goldberg comes out, clears out Ryback. Everyone goes nuts. Boom! Spear from Roman Reigns, tosses out Goldberg.
That would
Maybe they could have a triple threat match.
Yeah, it would be huge if that happened.
That'd be sweet. That way, Goldberg could lose the match but not get pinned.
Yep, it's true. And I was thinking about that as we've debated back and forth with Ryback versus Goldberg. What a win would do for each one, what a loss would do for the other. And a triple threat match would really kind of solve all of those problems.
A loss by Goldberg doesn't do anything for him. Doesn't hurt him.
But that's what I'm saying. Is
but would he agree to come back
if you were going to a triple threat match? I think would allow him to win. Without making Ryback look bad. That's what I'm saying.
Ryback could take the pin. I mean, he's been doing that to even who did he just get pinned by? R-Truth?
Who, Ryback?
Yeah. A couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, I think he did.
Yeah,
was that on SmackDown?
See, that's why I don't think the match between him and Goldberg is ever going to happen because he's just booked too weekly right now. Because the only way Goldberg would be, they bring back Goldberg was for him to lose to Ryback. But I just don't see it happening.
But do you think that it's possible that he could go on a post Rumble run or a post New Year run, and all of this other stuff would be forgotten?
No, it's not long enough. It's just stupid. It's like CM Punk's bad for like 8 weeks, and we're supposed to believe it, and then he's a good guy again when he comes back.
Didn't you think Ryback was going to get on a push here?
Yeah.
Like you predicted him to win on Sunday.
Yeah.
But it was all of a sudden match, so you didn't get a lot of time to analyze it, but you did think that they were putting him on a push.
Yeah, I mean, he looked great against Big Show last Monday. I thought he might actually...
either against Mark Henry.
No. I think they really, really, really messed up Ryback. They had him perfectly set up to, but I
don't know how anyone would disagree with you.
Ran into a buzzsaw that was CM Punk because CM Punk had to take on The Rock at Royal Rumble, and it had to be that. But
John Cena had to face The Rock at Mania.
Exactly.
So they didn't have anywhere to go.
Nope. It was just like Ryback's hot right now. He's the only guy we got. We got to put him in here.
And I think they jumped the gun when John Cena got hurt. I think they were scared.
Yeah.
I think they thought he was going to be out for a long time. Mm-hmm. And then I think, their main idea was to get him ready for Mania.
Yeah. I love how this has turned into like Goldberg of the Immortals. Every week, that's all they talk about.
He better come back, or we've wasted a lot of time on him over the last few months.
Well, then it will give us another year to talk about his potential return.
Yeah.
Next segment was Miz TV, and this was awful. Absolutely awful. Michael Strahan was the guest, but Titus O'Neil comes out impersonating Michael Strahan. Miz asks what's up with the gap in its teeth. Then the real Strahan comes out. They try to hip toss Strahan. Both of them did. Strahan blocks it both times. Just awful. Strahan ends up hip tossing Miz. Titus then tries to do the millions of dollars dance, but gets hip tossed himself. My notes were literally, what the hell was that?
And I thought Miz was a heel, and I thought Titus O'Neil was a good guy.
Yeah,
and they both played heels and good guys in the same segment.
And Miz was like, "This is just as bad as when the Giants took on the Cowboys and they lost. Ooh, oh yeah, Miz is a bad guy. Miz is a bad." He was all like, "Really?"
I thought it was hilarious.
Andy, that's why you own a John Cena t-shirt.
That's why you're a John Cena
That's
fan.
true. But, I mean, didn't it do what it was supposed to do? You're
Waste
laughing
time.
about it right now.
I'm not laughing.
You
about
were
it.
laughing.
No, I was
Just
not.
now.
I didn't lull.
Just now you
I didn't lull a single time.
You didn't.
No.
Just no lulls going on.
No.
I did. I
It
thought
was terrible.
I thought Titus O'Neil was funny. I thought he was fantastic. You didn't like him at all?
I hated the entire segment.
Yeah. Well,
I was.
Did it
I
waste
wish I
time?
could.
Yes.
I wish I could skip it because
yeah.
I wish I didn't have a podcast that I had to talk about it, so I could have skipped that.
Did it waste time? It did. But was it funny? I thought it was funny.
Why was he there? Because they were in New York.
Yeah, he was a special guest host.
But he didn't do it like.
No, well, okay. He's on a show.
And I thought they
He
were
hosts
done.
a show with
I thought
Kelly
they were
Ripa.
done with guest hosts.
I think they'll occasionally bring one here and there, but more importantly, who do you think went on his show? Who do you think goes on his show? all
Oh,
the time?
Miz probably.
Cena.
John Cena.
John
He's on that
Cena.
show to promote WWE.
Yeah.
How many people watch that show that don't watch wrestling? Probably a lot.
4.
Probably a lot because a lot of older people.
At least 4.
That brings them.
There's nobody who
Possibly.
doesn't. There's nobody who doesn't watch wrestling though. Everyone watches wrestling.
Yeah. Do I agree that it was a waste of time? Yes. Do I still think it was funny? Absolutely.
Alright, whatever. Our next match was Ryback and Curtis Axel versus Big E and Mark Henry. And they've continued the trend of putting African American stars together in a tag team. It's like they can't get away from it.
I want to believe that they're doing it for a certain reason, but it seems like it's just WWE being awful at stereotypes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like for the same reason a Muslim character can't be anything but a terrorist. And
Yeah.
it's, thinking back to Muhammad Hassan, it's, I don't know, they just...
They have 2 more teams.
It's
There's
so
Xavier Woods and R-Truth. And now Mark Henry and
Biggie Langston.
Biggie Langston.
But I didn't think that at all, Jimmy, when that came up. All I thought was they're both big power builders.
Why not have
power
Ryback
lifters,
and Mark
excuse
Henry?
me. Sure, they could, but Ryback's a bad guy.
Yeah, so was Mark Henry for a long time.
For a long time, but he came back as a good guy again.
Biggie
And when he
Langston
left, he was a good
yeah,
guy.
I know. But
So, I understand that. I understand why they put them together. They're both really strong power lifters. I never once thought it was because they were black.
See, I thought that right away.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because we went to Denfeld. I don't know.
Well, I did go to Central, so I am used to seeing
That's true.
the brothers, I guess.
And that was a rip on Denfeld, by the way, when we went there. Or just Duluth's overall.
yeah,
lack of
it's just
diversity.
Duluth in general.
Same with Cody Rhodes and not Cody Rhodes, I'm sorry, the Miz and Xavier Rhodes. The only reason I thought they were together is because they're both high flyers, and they're both
The Miz and Xavier Rhodes?
No, Xavier Rhodes and
R-Truth.
R-Truth?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I again,
They're both high
maybe.
flyers?
Well, they're both high energy guys. They both do a lot of things. But it never came to my mind that it's because they're black.
I think what you just said was racist.
No,
They both rap.
they do both rap.
Does Xavier Woods rap, though?
I'm sure he will. Well, anyways, Mark Henry pins Curtis Axel
Spilling beer?
No,
after
I
the
would
world's
never.
strongest slam. Mark Henry looking good after his comeback and the shaved head. Good to see. I like it. Next up, we had a rematch from our Survivor Series match. Total Divas taking on the Real Divas in an elimination 7-on-7 match. It was basically the same match. The only difference was Tamina hit a huge super kick in this. I thought that was awesome. Mm-hmm. That was an awesome super kick. That was Shawn Michaels would have been like, "Yeah, dude, that was awesome."
It looked outstanding, and I wonder if it was supposed to be that hard. Because right before that, Trinity, what did she do to her? She did something to her where the move looked a little wonky.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what she did.
I know what you're talking about.
And then she kicked her right in the face, and then right after she pinned her, she shoved her away.
Ava Marie came in, got booed pretty hard by the crowd, which is cool. Summer Rae ended up being the final participant from the Real Divas team. She was against the Bellas, both of the Bellas, and Ava Marie, and instead of wrestling, she starts dancing again. Like, this is supposed to prove something, like she's gonna win this match.
Or what I thought was weird about it is that, are we supposed to believe that she was afraid to face either of the Bellas or Eva Marie?
Yeah, I don't know.
If anything, that'd be an advantage for Summer Rae, who could, just eliminate Eva Marie with a hip toss,
Yeah.
and then, isolate one of the
like
bellas
half of the divas in that match.
Yeah, and then have a one-on-one or something.
Again, I wrote, this is awful in my notes. There were twerk chants, which I enjoyed.
Yes, I heard those.
Nikki ends up hitting Summer Rae with the torture rack and like, I don't even know what to call it, the Nikki Plex.
Yeah.
And ends up getting the pin. And the Total
Jerry
Divas win once again.
I think
what did Jerry Lawler say?
Yes.
Jerry LOLer says, that's the best rack I've seen in years.
I think it's called the perfect rack.
The perfect rack. I like it.
Because it's the perfect rack.
So the Total Divas win again, just like they did on SummerSlam on Sunday. They announced that the Slam
Survivor
Awards... Or, yes, I keep doing the SS.
I do, too. I do it all the time.
The Slammy Awards are in 2 weeks. And next week, we're going to have our own Slammy Awards. We're going to have the podcasties.
Yeah, we could call them the potties.
Potties?
Because we are POTI.
Oh, there we go.
The Immortals.
There we go.
The potties.
We're gonna come up with some categories. We're gonna definitely have like Wrestler of the Year, Match of the Year, Pay-Per-View of the Year, Newcomer of the Year, Best Tag Team. You know, we're gonna come up with all of those and
Best storyline.
Best storyline, and we'll probably do that every year around this time of year. Now that the year's wrapping up, heading into December.
You should tweet Podcast of the Immortals with your ideas and if you'd like to.
Yes.
Give us your opinions.
To all of your friends.
Yes, we are at Immortals PCast for those tweets.
Yep.
You can also find us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/podcast of the Immortals. Yep. Or just search for us. We like ye.
On Tumblr. No.
We also have a classmate. We also have a classmates.com and a Friendster page.
Yeah. MySpace.
And a GeoCities. We have a GeoCities and Angel Fire site as well.
Yes. And Foursquare.
No, we don't. No.
Yeah, we got rid of the Foursquare.
We got rid
site.
of it.
Done.
We didn't want to check in places.
Yeah, because I was the mayor of Podcast of the Immortals for the longest time. And then I got unseated.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a fit.
Because they offered you a $20,000 raise and you declined and things like that. Ziggler took on Damien Sandow.
Super inside Duluth.
I know. Duluth. Ziggler versus Sandow in a Hamptons hardcore match. It was voted on by the WWE Universe. No one knew what a Hamptons hardcore match was, but apparently it involved tennis rackets and
golf
clubs and paddles. Yes.
I went to Yardale where I had a 4.0 grade point average.
Yeah, my favorite part of the match was Ziggler came down in an Islanders Tavares jersey.
Yeah, Jonathan Tavares,
who was the number one pick. Is that correct?
I think like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah,
he's one of their best players, if not the best player on their team. They have Thomas Vanek now though too.
Yes, Sandow ripped off the jersey, and Ziggler had a Zack Ryder shirt underneath, which led to Zack Ryder chants. I loved it. Zack Ryder was not on the show, however. Sandow ends up winning after smashing Ziggler through a trash can, which was cool.
Great finish.
I love
Give him
the finish.
You're welcome after breaking a rowing oar on him.
Good match. They've continued that trend of random hardcore matches between the two. Hopefully we'll see a Duluth hardcore match next week. They could have hockey sticks and
frozen ice.
No, if it was a Duluth hardcore match, they'd have hockey sticks around, then they'd just shove each other and call each other pussies for the next half hour.
They could have mucklucks.
Yeah. That's all that would happen in a Duluth hardcore match.
I like the ending in this match. I thought it was put together pretty well.
Yeah, well, and they each have one win, so I'm sure we'll get a blow-off match next week.
See, I hope they actually do what they should do.
I think
put these guys on pay-per-view.
I think with the use of weapons, I think we'll see a TLC match with them, or some kind of match at TLC. They'll have a table match or something.
I really enjoyed their back and forth. I think they have good chemistry in the ring.
I was glad to see Sandow finally get a victory.
Yeah, that's his first one since 2008.
It was Aaron Idol Stevens.
Yes, exactly. With no beard. CM Punk and Daniel Bryan come out with Renee Young, your favorite.
Oh, love Renee Young.
Yeah,
adore her.
I know you do.
She's awesome.
She didn't say much in this promo. They go on a riff. Punk says that handicap matches are all the rage, but it doesn't matter because the beard and the best will burn them all to the ground. Bryan says that they won't let the Wyatts get the best of them and that it's clobbering time. Then the Wyatts enter, and they have a match. All three Wyatts were taking on the greatest of all teams.
Clobbering time! Did Bray ever get in as the legal man?
I don't really remember.
I mean, yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, okay.
Just for a little bit.
Just not long.
Yeah, he's obviously still getting over his injury.
Yeah.
I think they just realized that he's not a very good wrestler, actually.
No, he was injured.
Oh, I understand, but I don't think he's that good,
Really?
personally. I think Rowan and Harper looked good, though.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt, I think, does have some in-ring work to do. But as far as his character, his charisma,
That's fantastic.
it's top notch.
Yeah.
I think the work will come in time.
Yeah. Daniel Bryan was flying all over the ring before the Wyatts are disqualified and ended up beating down the pair. As CM Punk is leaving the ring after this beatdown, Roman Reigns then spears Punk out of nowhere. We didn't even realize he was by the ring. The Shield then come out of the crowd and give Punk a triple powerbomb to end the segment. I don't know where that's leading, but it was pretty cool.
Well, and the whole reason why CM Punk was coming out is because they carried off Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
The Wyatts took Daniel Bryan away, put him on their shoulders, and took him out. CM Punk gets up, tries to chase after him, and then that spear was out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That was great camera work.
Well, yeah, because I was just like, whoa, what?
Yeah. All of a sudden you see
That's
him
what I did.
out. What'd you think of that?
I think that this is all going to come back to the Kane and Wyatt feud, and you're going to see that the Wyatts are working for Kane.
Who's working for?
The Authority. And Daniel Bryan is Kane's former tag team partner. Mm-hmm. So they're going to
That's true.
have
Yeah,
all
haven't had
this
that
come
match
full
yet either.
circle.
Full circle. Kofi took on The Miz. The Miz won with a roll-up. A fruit roll-up. That's all I have to say about that match.
Yeah, no one cares.
Heath Slater took on Xavier Woods. I never know what to say. Woods wins with his finisher, which is kind of like a stunner with the foot. I don't know what to call it. What was it called? They have a name for it.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
It's is it Lost in the Woods? Is that
right.
what it's called?
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
go
a
with
cool
that.
move.
The Woods Plex.
Makes a great sound and everything. I like it.
Yeah, which led to our main event. Randy Orton and Alberto Del Rio took on John Cena and The Big Show. And Big Show was selling the fact that he was woozy
Concussed.
from his punt to the head, which completely missed him on Survivor Series. But he got repeated kicks to the head by Alberto Del Rio, which led to doctors coming out and checking on The Big Show. Del Rio then goes for the cross arm breaker on John Cena, but it was reversed into the SDF. Del Rio taps almost immediately. Orton then beats down Cena and holds both titles over Cena after the match as Raw goes off the air.
Jimmy.
What?
Why do they do those things?
Yeah, Andy,
kicks.
Andy and I were watching it tonight before you got here, and that second of the two kicks from Del Rio looked like it hit.
Yeah.
And I don't know how
Yeah,
Del
it
Rio does it. I don't know if it's the boots he wears or if he's
The
doing
noise.
it. The noise he makes that no one else is able to quite make. It's quite
It
remarkable.
reminds me of HBK.
Yeah.
Truthfully does. And I would never compare Alberto Del Rio to HBK except for this instance.
And they both have three letters that they can be called
ADR?
ADR HBK. I wonder if you take ADR and HBK, if that made a hard BK.
This is too much thinking right now.
Yeah.
So they're obviously writing off the Big Show.
Which we assumed they would.
Yeah, and that's like the easiest thing to do with the Big Show for some reason. They certainly write guys off with injuries all the time.
Yeah.
But Big Show, they seem to do it like more than most. They don't have something for him. What's going to be hurt this time?
What, you want a month off, Big Show? Oh, sure.
Here, put your hand in this car.
Yeah, you can come back and cry some more. Big Show does cry a lot.
He does.
Yeah, he's like, oh.
Do you remember when Del Rio ran Big Show over? When Big Show and Kane were a tag team?
Yeah, I do remember that. Oh, show! Kane was all like worried. Yeah, the monster was all worried. But yeah, as a main event, didn't really do much for me.
The whole point to me was it was just like hurry up and get it over with. What's going to happen at the end after the match, and we got it with Orton attacking Cena.
I like the two things, though. They wrote off Show, which they needed to do, or at least put him away from the title.
Which they should have done about 2 months ago.
I actually didn't mind him coming back and being the good guy and facing Orton just to give, Punk and Bryan the chance to team together. I was fine with
You
it.
should not have Big Show in the main event of Survivor Series. Which
That
is supposed
I'm not
to be
gonna
one of
argue
your
with.
top 4.
Yeah, and he took
But
away.
it's not.
He took
not top
away.
4 anymore.
He took away any of the momentum that Daniel Bryan had because it was Big Show who was attacking Triple H, Big
Yeah.
Show who was attacking Orton, not
Big
Daniel
Show-
Bryan.
Big Show goes from... They're so up and down with Big Show. Like, he, a couple weeks ago, took out the entire Shield and then Triple H in like a minute.
Right.
And now, like, he's going to lose to Alberto Del Rio. Like, it infuriates me, like, their inconsistency.
I understand.
With this character.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Second thing that happened in that match, obviously building the storyline with Orton and Cena, and I think it's going to be a great storyline with a good match.
Is there any way Randy Orton wins that match?
Yeah.
What, cleanly?
Yes.
Really?
I think so. I think there's a good chance.
Do you think he wins?
I'm not sure yet.
What are the odds? Like, if you
I
put a percentage on it.
I would still say he's the underdog.
You know what
give him
I
a
30, 40%?
30? Okay.
think? You know what I think happens? I think Cena wins with the unwanted help of the Authority.
The reluctant heel.
And I think he's going to do it in a way where he won't realize it at the time until the 3 count is over or the submission is in that he got help, and that will get the crowd to be, you know, against him as always, even more so. And you're gonna have probably the next night on Raw him saying that he didn't want this. I could see him even like giving up the belt or threatening to give up the belt. Or they could play it off the way that I doubt it will happen. The way it won't happen, but the way I want it to, is that he'll do all of that, but then by show's end, he'll prove that no, he's a heel and that he's in bed with Triple H and Stephanie.
I think you are crazy to think that he's going to turn heel.
Yeah.
Before
Well, I don't think
WrestleMania.
no, but I don't think so. See, that's I just said that's what I want to happen.
Oh, okay.
I think that he will get help from them.
I do like
And
that
he'll want to
idea.
give up the title, and then he'll do something where he'll fall out of their good graces, or they'll turn on him. Or whatever.
He'll probably say something like, I never wanted help from these guys. Orton, you can have your rematch at Royal Rumble. You name the stipulation, something like that.
Yeah, I could see that.
And what this could do is, if that actually does happen, it could lead to Orton Triple H, which I wouldn't mind seeing.
Well, I mean,
That's a good co-main event.
they have Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, and that's really where they can make up some ground and kind of do whatever they want.
Which is nice. Usually it's kind of been in a holding pattern lately where Elimination Chamber doesn't, like, you kind of already know what the matches are going to be for WrestleMania, so Daniel Bryan could be in that match, CM Punk could be in that match, Jericho if he comes back,
Which he is.
for sure.
Well, from what I've heard, he'll be back for Royal Rumble.
Why wasn't that Wrestle News?
Because I thought it was well known. I mean,
he typically comes back around that time, but I didn't hear that.
that's the only thing I listened to another podcast, and they would say that he will be back before the Royal Rumble.
For the Royal Rumble.
Yep. So it won't be like a special appearance like he did last year.
His return at Royal Rumble last year
Oh my goodness!
was one of the top 5 mark-out moments for me in my entire life.
You did mark out pretty huge.
Yeah.
It was a great. I mean, they kept that under wraps.
Yeah.
With everyone.
Only
a couple people knew about it.
He was in a van outside.
Down by a river.
Like, literally, he was hiding in a van in the parking lot, waiting for, like, most of the boys to be, like, away, and then they snuck him in after the show had already started. So, like, even people backstage didn't know that he was coming out. Only, like, a select few. And, like, that's the lengths they went to hide that he was coming back.
Pretty huge.
And that's how they got the reaction out of me, which was awesome. But yeah, so that was Raw. Underwhelming for me. I was really excited after Survivor Series, especially, and I thought they'd do more with the title. I mean, they did what they needed to do, but I'm excited for TLC to see what happens.
My expectations weren't very high for Raw, which is why I really liked it.
Oh,
Yeah, and I really liked Raw as well.
sure.
What did you guys give Survivor Series out of 10?
7.
I'd say 7.
Yeah, I said 7.5, 8. So, and I would say Raw is about the same for me.
You okay there, buddy?
Yeah.
All right.
I thought that they hit everything they needed to, and definitely had points in the night with Michael Strahan that were funny. But what about him? We never talked about this. What about him putting on the goat mask? Did you laugh about that?
No, not really. Like, why would he put it on?
And you're a tough crowd.
I grew up on a lot better time of wrestling.
Yeah, but you're no longer in that time.
I expect better.
But for you to expect that, is that fair? You're no longer in that era.
I expect better because I know that they can.
I'm okay with that. I'm just saying that.
I thought
it was funny.
I've seen better shows.
Maybe I'm just.
I know
easy.
they can do better. You are easy.
That's what my wife says too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it. All right, but that's our show for this week. Be sure to check us out on Twitter. At ImmortalsPcast, at 97Bush, at Jimmy Bellamy, and at
MackZilla51. That's MackZilla 51.
Also check out Fish
Daddy
69. If you want to check out some weird stuff happening on Twitter, you can check out that one. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, guys. Thanks to Wrestle News for hosting us once again. You can check them out at WrestleNews.com. And not at WrestleNews, but www.wrestlenews.com with a Z, and at WrestleNews on Twitter. Thanks again, guys, for hosting us. We appreciate every moment with you guys. We love it. And yeah, that's it.
Wrestle News.
Thanks for having me on, boys. It was a lot of fun.
It was our pleasure.
Yeah.
I really think that now that they're going to have one main championship, it's going to get even more heated. You're going to have guys like Punk, guys like Bryan in it more often. And if you look back to even the Attitude Era, we just had the one title. It kept some of those feuds fiery, and there were feuds to be the contender.
Yeah.
Where the two titles has allowed them to branch off, and it's kind of watered down.
It is.
I just think heel Punk, face Bryan, face Cena, triple threat at WrestleMania would be so awesome.
What were the three?
Heel Punk, face Bryan,
okay,
face Cena,
okay,
and which is half and half pretty much.
Yeah.
Triple threat WrestleMania.
Triple threats are tough, but
they are.
WrestleMania 21 with Triple H and Shawn and
I thought was Cena in a triple threat
and Benoit. Oh wait, that was 20.
20 had the triple threat match with
Benoit.
HBK, Benoit and Triple H.
That was an awesome match.
Didn't Cena have a triple threat match in like 22?
WrestleMania 25, they took on Big Show and Edge.
Oh, Big Show.
That's what it was. When he scooped them both up.
Yeah.
F5.
Yeah.
F5.
Yeah. Rob Schomburger signed with WWE. He's painting for their auction site.
Nice.
Yeah. He said this is the first item right here, this Daniel Bryan.
I'm excited. I bought those two prints today. Or last night.
This current bid.
I'm going to get them signed.
Current bid $260
for that.
Shit. That's
awesome.
That is awesome.
I found this really cool print of Goldberg on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
But it was $200. But it was an awesome painting. Like, I'd love to hang it up, but I can't afford that.